everyone, Lady De Winter here, and we are back in 7 Days to Die today. And we've already had to face down a mini horde this morning, and we have had all kinds of stuff going on here, and I am reinforcing my chosen building that I'm using as a base. Now, I did get 2 cans of soup, so I'm going to go ahead and eat those because my stomach is rumbling. So we are going to go ahead and eat those. Now, as you see, I've got my little wall started here. What I'm doing is I am making a wooden perimeter wall around the outside of the stone. Because the stone wall, even though it is sturdy and it is hardy, is not hardy enough to withstand a horde beating on it for very long. Now, I will be also lining the inside of this back wall with spikes just in case they breach it, which they will. I've been here, done this 100,000 times now. Well, not that many, but you know what I mean. I'm putting spikes up here because the zombies will most definitely climb up. The spider zombies will climb up there. Once they do, they'll get caught on the spikes and they will kill themselves on them, which is always a pleasant prospect. Now, after that, I'm going to put another layer of spikes down here around this house. And this will be done all the way around the base. This is going to be done all the way around this base, as you can see. Now, this wall will be made stronger, but I'm going to need to collect some more wood first before I can do that. So, but this is basically how I protect my base for a horde. Now, eventually, if I decide to stay here longer, I will put an outside wall around this also, with that mine on the other side of it, and I'll stand on the other side of that mine and basically shoot down into it. You know, I'll put up a wall there and shoot down into that mine so that I can hit them. Now, I may go down there and eventually use that mine. I understand there's bears in the mines now, so I might not. And feral zombies do tend to spawn in mines, so it's just not a really happy place to go. So, I have not yet gone out and searched down any food yet because I really would like to get a good portion of these walls done before I actually leave the base for any length of time. Mainly because, you know, hey, what can I say? Yeah. Oh, I didn't want that high, so yeah. So we will go like this, and we will go like this, and like that. And basically, this is what I will do to the entire outside of this base. I will put these wooden frames all the way around it, and then I will fill them in with wood. Now, as I said, this makes another barrier that they have to go through to get into your base. And as long as you keep your spikes up and in good repair, which you'll see there'll be 2 or 3 rows out around this, and then another row out from that. So, spikes is the key to staying alive in this game, I have found. As much as I hate to have to rely on something like that, sometimes you just don't have a choice. You have to do what you have to do. And as you can see, now I will fill these in. And once they're filled in, I will be able to put spikes on top. So, and yeah, I'm only filling in the top row so far. The bottom row will come when I have wood and resources. That is the biggest thing. This base style takes an absolute crap ton of wood. So unless you have a bunch of trees around you or the ability to get a bunch of wood, this base model can be difficult. So, but it's good because it protects you really, really well. Up until, like I said, the 21-day horde, forget it. I mean, you know, there's just not a lot. Unless you're in a really tall brick building or something, there's not a lot you can do to protect yourself from the 21-day horde. So you just got to kind of do the best you can with what you've got and go from there. Now, I will be collecting a shit ton of wood, as I often do for these little projects. And if I play my cards right, I will be able to get this completely finished by the day of the 21st Horde, or the 7-day Horde. So, but it requires the first few games a whole lot of grinding, which you're going to find you're not going to have time to do much else but grind. Now, I'm lucky enough to have a water source over there. A lot of times you don't have that. In previous games, we didn't have the water sources that we have now. So, I also found out that I can craft a bedroll out of plant fibers. So, another one of the quests, as you see, is gather 20 plant fibers. I could craft a bedroll, although I already have one, but I'm going to hold that off a little bit. I'll craft one maybe and put it away. So, and I should have gotten some more seeds. Yes, I have 10 seeds. I am going to plant some trees, mainly because I am going to need and there is another cave with that is a big water hole basically. So I will plant the tree here maybe, and out here maybe, because I want to have trees around me close at hand, but not so close that you can't, because they also made it now so that you can't put your trees down. They have to be at least 5 blocks away from each other to put them down. So, okay. And that is just too far out. I'm not even going to attempt to go for it. It's too far away. So, I just can't see going for anything that far out. So, I mean, it would be nice to have the stuff from it, but right now it's just not wise to go that far away from home. And get some more stones. Some more, and there went my axe. Did I make another one? No, I didn't. So let's make 2 more since we're going to need them. And there we go. And we do not need the crushed sand. I will toss that. So yeah. So there we go now. And basically the first few days of the game, I spend all my time collecting wood and building up my base. Then after that, I go out and I worry about trying to get food unless I'm absolutely starving to death. Then sometimes you just have to let yourself starve. It depends on how important your wellness is to you. My wellness is not overwhelmingly important to me. Oh, what did I? Oh, I didn't want that crushed sand. I picked it up again. My wellness is not overwhelmingly important to me. So I really don't spend that much time worrying about my wellness in the beginning of the game, because it's just impossible to keep it up sometimes. So, but I won't be doing a lot of nighttime videos except on Horde night. In fact, I may cut away part of that last video I did and toss it. Although there is some valuable information in it, like the idea of crafting at night when you have to wait out the darkness. You just got to crouch down a corner of your base and craft all night long. That's a great time to make extra hammer or axes so that you can get your levels up, or make spikes and frames and stuff like that that you're going to need for fixing up your base and stuff. So now, I'll warn you ahead of time, I don't know if it's going to happen in this particular game or not. Taking out those big stones all the way, those great big ones over there, all the way to the ground, has caused world holes and all kinds of situations in my previous games. If you watch any of my previous games, especially the streams, you'll see how it has caused world holes. I don't know if they fixed that. I don't know. How much wood have I got now? Oh, I got a couple of stacks and a half. Did I hear a zombie? No, I did not hear a zombie. Okay. So, but you'll want to be careful about that, because, that's just another situation that you really don't want if you can avoid it. And there went my axe. That, my friends, is why I made 2 of them. And I tend to make 2. That's why the first thing I do is collect a whole lot of stone so that I can make a bunch of axes. Now, where is my base? It's over here. Oh, a bird's nest. I love bird's nests. Eggs. I don't have the capacity to make eggs yet. That will come eventually. Could use some clay too. I would like to get that forge going before I leave this base, but I think shoring up my base is much more important to start with than worrying about clay. So now I have to watch out because I do know there are mines or mine holes, and there's a water hole around here also somewhere, which I will eventually get rid of a great deal of this grass so that I don't fall into these things while I'm doing combat. Because nothing is more annoying than to fall into one of those things while you're fighting zombies. And it can be excruciatingly annoying. So can these things. These porch railings, because they will stop you from putting up barriers to your building front. So the first thing you want to do is get rid of the porch railings. So that's one of the things I'm doing right now is I'm getting rid of those. I'm going to put up my frames here and here. And get this all shored up for Horde Night. Which a lot of people think I'm overly paranoid about this, but I have faced many hordes in this game so far, and I really don't want to face them without proper barricades and such, because it can really be a pain in the butt. Now, as you can see, I am eventually going to have to go hunting. I'm going to have no choice on the face of this earth but to go hunting. So, now see, I'll come in this way so I can put another and there's a way to block the spikes from you getting hurt on them, and that's with farm fence. Now, yes, it does take up a wood farm fence. There it is. It does take up a block here, so you know I'd use it all sparingly because you know it does take up blocks and stuff, so you'll want to think about using that carefully. But it also helps you to keep from getting yourself killed on your own spikes, which can be frustrating to say the least. So what I usually do is I do this number, and it's like that. Yeah. There. And see, that keeps me, unless I run directly into it like that, it keeps me from getting injured on my own spike, and I didn't mean to do that. So, but that's okay. That's okay. It will work. It will work. No, it won't. I need that back further, so. So there we go. But it gets to be iffy sometimes when you're working on this stuff. That's exactly where I want that. No, I didn't want it there, but okay. There we go. Now see, I won't run into my own spikes easily. I mean, I still can, but I shouldn't run into my own spikes easily. So. Now this is the only area here that's not going to have triple spikes. It will only have one layer of spikes. So, and then up here, I'm going to have to do this in. And it is getting to be, when you start hearing the crickets, you know it's time to start thinking about going indoors for the night, because the crickets is an indication that it's almost nighttime. So. But see, the good thing about the spikes being up there is that ledge along the roof. The spiders will try to climb. They'll go up. They'll come back down and hit the spikes. They'll go up. They'll come back down. And it eventually kills them. It does damage the spikes a bit, but in my personal estimate, that is worth it. to kill off the nasty little critters that are going to be trying to get to you. Now, these spikes are going to be kind of worthless in a way because of the, you know, location of them. So this is what I will do here. And I'm going to need some more frames. Frame. So let's make about 40 or 50 more of these, since we do happen to have the wood available to us, which is always a good idea. There. Now that's something you would normally do at night, but I do it during the day, just, you know, if I need them, as I'm building this little trap set for them. Now they will get hurt going up on those spikes. They will run into those spikes and they will get ouchies from them, which is what we want. We want them to get injured and dead, which is always a good thing. Injured and dead is my favorite kind of zombie, because once they're injured, they're easier to kill. So now that lamp is going to have to go. And of course it's 250. I think I have my durability set up way too high. Yes, I know I'm thirsty, but you know, I'll get over it for a couple of minutes while I finish this little task. There we go. Now we want to put some more spikes here. There. Now that much is done, and we have got some barricades up to start our base in safety. Well, one of the fun parts of this is you do have to mow the lawn so that you can put you can put spikes down on top of grass, but I don't like to do it because then it makes them go all Whopper John stuff, and that's very, very annoying. Okay, now here we go. We're going to go here and here. Or I think we are. No, we're not. It's not going to let us as long as that stupid fence post is there. So we're going to have to take that down. Okay, now. And we're going to put that there. And we're going to go ahead and finish out these along here, which, yeah, I know it. If a zombie comes up and hits the wood frames right now, it's not going to do a lot of good because the wood frames are not very sturdy and they will bust through it. And I'm well aware of that. I know that that's the probability of what is going to happen. And I'm not going to have the time to fill them all in tonight. I know that. So, you know, I'm just going to have to take a chance on the fact and stay at the other side of the base. So if they decide they want to find me, I'm over on the other side of the base instead of here. Now eventually all this wood will also be double thick, and it will probably, if I decide to stay here longer, it will probably become I need more spikes. It will probably become metal, so yeah. There. So, you know, and that's just the way it's going to work out. And yes, I know the spikes won't do a lot of good up there either, but it will injure them to some degree, which is what I'm looking for. An injured zombie is a easy to kill zombie. So, you know. So. Now, having this part done, tomorrow I will put down another row of spikes around the outside of this, maybe 2 rows, and then I'm going to go searching for food, which means I have to go hunting for a deer or a pig. So, or just find a bunch of zombies and hope they've got food on them. So, but now that we're getting our base to the point where it's safer and we can rest assured that we're not going to be eaten right away, at least, or murdered right away, that's always a very good assurance for me. I prefer not to die right away in my game. So, Now the secondary exit will be off of this porch here so that I can actually get away if I need to in a pinch. And here we go now. Now we will finish putting the spikes up on the top of this. And we should get one right there, I think. Yeah, right there. We'll get one right there, right there. And now, as you see, I do have a minuscule wooden wall all the way around the outside of the base. Eventually, I will want to reinforce that with other stuff, you know. If I stay here, again, that's going to be a big if. If I stay at this base, I will think about reinforcing all this even better than it is. But as of right now, I'm not planning on staying here forever, especially not through the 21-day horde. I may go hide someplace else or so. And I know, like I said, I know a grindy video is boring to you all, and I do apologize for that, but you know, there is a lot of grind in this base to get ready for horde. So yeah, see, this grass is in the way and I can't put down my spikes properly. So, and one of the big things is do not get killed on your own spikes. I have actually died to my own spikes in many games. So it's been iffy at times at best, you know. So, and I really hate these porch railings. I know there's a purpose for them, fun pimps, but you know, you could make them a little easier to bust because, you know, when you're trying to put up fortifications and it's almost nighttime and you don't want to be caught out when the horde comes through. Okay, that's enough. It's time to go indoors. As you can see, it's getting to be that time of night again. Very carefully come up here. Put a wooden frame there so they can't get up. And boom. We go in our base and we block this up. Now, we're going to crouch down. And I'm probably going to go downstairs and put some spikes down around these inside walls also. The reason being is it doesn't hurt. It just doesn't hurt to have this barricaded to a point. Some of this stuff is kind of hard to break through, some of it isn't. It just never hurts to have this stuff barricaded. So, and there we go, folks. There we go. We have our base barricaded to a degree, which is always a good thing. I want to get out of that now, yeah. So, and there we go. That's the sign that it's nighttime. And there we go. So, we got a lot done today. We've still got a lot more to do, but that's what nighttime is for. Thanks for watching. This is Lady DeWinter. In 7 Days to Die, Day 4 is over. Day 5 is next. Bye-bye.